A student who waits on tables at a restaurant recorded the cost of meals and the tip left by the single diners. Here's a table of the meal costs and the tip. If the diner orders a meal costing $10.50, how much tip should the waiter expect to receive? So we're going to do a linear regression, a line of best fit, to predict how much tip the waiter will receive. So we'll use our calculator. We'll go into Stat, Edit, and we'll enter the data in List 1 and List 2. Now we're going to calculate the line of best fit. Stat, arrow right, calculate, number 4, linear regression, AX plus B. Number 4. Now, your screen's a little different, but we want to include to send it this equation to y1 so we can use it to make our prediction. So we're going to hit vars, y vars, function, y1. Enter. So now the calculator has taken the data and come up with an equation to represent that data. And we've also told the calculator to send it into y1 so we could graph it. So we're going to write our equation. Y equals 0.157 minus 0.3. So here's an equation to represent this model. And now we're going to use our calculator. So if we go to y equals, you can see we got a big number in there. We've sent this equation here. So now we're going to hit trace. And we're going to say, when x is 1050, what is y? What is my tip? 10.50. And I have an error message. And my error is that my window is -10 to 10, -10 to 10. I wanted 10.5. It's not in my window range here. So I'm going to hit zoom. I'm going to hit 3 for zoom out, and I'm going to hit enter. And I'm going to try again to trace. Trace 1050. And y, or my tip, is $1.35. So it worked that time because a value for x at 1050 is in the window. Another thing I could have done is reset my table. So let's look at our table. So my table is counting by ones, but I want to know when 1050, so 10.5. So I can change the increments here. So go into second window or table set. The table, I'm going to have it start at 0, and then I want it to count by half, so 0.5. And then I'm going to go hit table, and now I can just arrow through my table. When I get to 1050, I see that my tip is $1.34. Rounded to $1.35. Now let's look at a quadratic model. Dylan tosses a football. The horizontal distance in D in yards and the height h in feet of the football are shown below. Find the equation of the quadratic curve of best fit and predict the horizontal distance the ball will travel before hitting the ground. So we're going to put in our data. So we're going to go to our calculator and hit Stat, Edit. We're going to go ahead and enter our List 1 and List 2. Now we're going to calculate the quadratic regression. So hit Stat, Calculate, and number 5 for quadratic regression. Again, I want to send it to y1 so it'll graph it for me. So I'm going to hit the bars, y bars, function, y1. And then enter. And there's my equation. Negative 0.06 x squared plus 92x plus 602. So to predict the horizontal distance the ball will travel before hitting the ground. So in this instance, instead of going and hitting trace, okay, so there it is. It's a quadratic, and it's got a negative x squared, so it's an upside down u. I need to figure out what the other 0 is here, because this is where it started, and then see it's 0, 6, it started here, it went up in the air, and then it went down. So I can't see this on my window range. So I'm going to hit my zoom again, number 3, enter, enter. So now I need to know that value there, and I certainly could do the quadratic formula. But another way I can do it is have the calculator calculate the 0. Where's the 0? And when I do that, I say, I want you to calculate this 0 here. So I need to give it a value to the left and a value to the right. So we're going to tell it to calculate. So we're going to hit second. And calculates above trace. So trace. Maybe not. I have a little problem here. We'll hit graph. Okay, so I'm going to calculate. So second, calculate or trace. I want it to calculate the 0 for me. So I'm going to go down to 2, enter. And I'm going to go here. I want this 0 here, so I need to get a left bound, something to the left of this. So I'm going to go over a little closer. Get my little spider guy on there. Okay, now I'm going to hit enter. And then the calculator says, well, give me something to the right of it. So I'm going to go down here, below where I want the answer, below that 0, and hit enter. And do you want me to guess as the calculator? Absolutely. So my 0 is when x is 20. So it's about 20.1 feet out is my answer. Let's move that over here. So 20.1 feet would be the horizontal distance. It started at 0, 6, went up in the air, and fell down.